Good afternoon, everybody. Gosh, it's so weird, everybody's so spread out. I'm going to get even closer to you, although that I might have to read. I'm June Bayless, the artistic director here at Matthews Playhouse. We are delighted to see you for many reasons. One, that we haven't seen anybody in over a year. I think Sydney, who's emceeing today, directed the last show we did here before we went down. So you can't imagine the excitement the tech crew, the staff feels about today, and for obviously other reasons, for the kind of events you're going to be seeing this afternoon. Thank you, first of all, for supporting these playwrights and for being here and supporting Live Theater. We're just delighted to have you. I've got a couple of introductions to do before we get started. Matthews Playhouse, for those of you who don't know, has been here for 25 years. We started with the Children's Theater, and then we started an education program and went on to include plays for families of all ages. So we are actually in our 26th year, and I still have people say they've never heard of us. So we are so glad you're here, and now you've heard of us. It's a great day. The pandemic certainly changed everything for Live Theater, as everyone here in the audience is well aware. I don't need to say any of that to you, as I was talking to somebody in the restaurant business the other day, and they were moaning, and I said, well, at least you can do takeout. You know, there's no takeout theater. Except what we're kind of doing in the park this summer. We'll be performing over in the park live and in person later on in the summer. So that also gave us a time to reflect. We have been working our way in this direction for several years for inclusion and we just don't have time. You're going on that treadmill so fast, as everybody probably in this room has felt. And this allowed us to slow down and do projects that we thought we never had time for before. And now, once it's on our calendar, once this event has happened, it will be a continuous thing that we do every year. I think Sydney will say this later, but everyone understands that the winner today gets their play and produced in September, and they fully realize production with everything that goes with the show. So that is so exciting to us. I'm assuming it's exciting to you, and that's why you're here with us today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the partnership we formed with the African American Playwrights Group, led by Vicki. Vicki's down here in the front. She's going to stand up and wave, and we met Vicki. I don't remember, Zoom meeting, something on the ways of the world that are so horrific right now. And we struck up a conversation, we had meetings, we talked, and her playwrights group and our group have formed this, I guess, coalition of warriors, so to speak, together. Her group is so unique in that she has playwrights that have never written plays that are brand new, as well as experienced playwrights. What a great thing to learn from each other in an environment like that. She founded the group in 2019. She's the founder as well as the director. And it's a place to network. It's a place to share resources and to showcase their work. This is a platform for excellent theater, and we're going to see some of that today. We didn't have to be part of Vicki's group to enter the competition, but I do think there's a couple of people that are four, she says. Okay, four. And lastly, I've already said this once, but I'm going to say it again. Because of these conversations, all kinds of roads are opening for us, and I hope for the playwrights and for the actors and for Vicki's group, I hope this is opening doors all over Charlotte as well as all over the country. One of our playwrights is not even from the Charlotte region, which was so unbelievable. We had 18 plays submitted first year. Can you imagine what we'll have next year at this time? We can't voice how excited we are correctly, I don't think. There's some important special guests we have in the audience today, and I do want to recognize them. Today we have our Mayor Pro Tem of Matthews, Renee Garner. Renee, just wave, there she is. Her first term as one of the town commissioners, and she is a really loyal supporter of the arts, and she also is on the advisory board and our representative with DSC. So I'm delighted to have her here today. And she's been on our stage before. She was on and she appeared as a special guest last year during our production of Mamma Mia. So she's a seasoned actor, so to speak. We also have another town commissioner here, Ken McCool, and I'll make you stand up. There's Ken. Thank you, Ken, for coming. He is a lifelong Matthews resident, and he also went to Providence High School, graduated from the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and the fun fact is, Ken took classes here and camps here as a child. So we're doing that full circle already, and I think Ken could also be my grandson. So we're delighted to have him. And we're also having our presidents, Krista Terrell from the Arts and Science Council. Krista's right here, dead center. She's our acting director and has been for the last few months. And boy, who would want to be given a gift like that in a pandemic? Because she has done a heroic job stepping into the league at ASC, and we're pleased and proud to have her here, and so proud of the work she's doing. I do not envy anyone stepping into any leadership role the way things are, but she's done a phenomenal job. Finally, we want to thank the town of Matthews for their support. They are completely and totally behind this project and want to see it continue and want to see it return. And they are giving us rent space and time in the theater and some in-kind investment in this project. So we are forever grateful to the town. Lastly, I want to introduce Sydney Gordon. He's going to be our MC today. If I forgot anything, both of them blanks. Come on out, Sydney. Oh, and our judges are right down the front. I'm supposed to introduce them. We're not staffing yet. Okay. This is Sydney. You may know him as an actor or a director or best friend. I've known Sydney almost his whole life. When he first moved to Charlotte, he comes out and directs for us, he acts for us. He's such an asset to the whole theater community. He has agreed to MC today's show, so take it away, Sydney. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so happy to be in a theater. You have no idea. This is what I do for a living. So for the last year and some change, I have been shut down. So a lot of us have been shut down. So to actually be in a theater and to look out and see people in the theater, it's like one of the best things. I hope that we are awakening now and that we're going to get back to some semblance of normal and we can have theater again. But what's even more impressive is that today we're here to celebrate new work. Even in the midst of all of this pandemic and all of this craziness, theater still happened. People put those pens to paper and they were writing and they brought out stories. The stories that's going to, we're going to hear 5 different stories today. It's going to take us to 5 different places and make us think. All right? And that's what theater does. It empowers, it makes you think. So we got a full list lined up. So before I just start talking too much, I got to read all this stuff. They told me to read. So I'm going to read this stuff and we're going to get going. This year, 18 BIPOC playwrights submitted 10 pages of their original work productions. After submission, a reader's panel of 3 industry professionals evaluated each playwright's work and based on the selection criteria, evaluating originality and storyline development. Now, based on the rubric scoring, 5 semi-finalists was chosen to showcase their stage readings, which will be presented to you here today. And the grand prize will be a full-fledged production at the Matthews Playhouse of Performing Arts, their fall season that will be performed September of 2021. So let's do it. Thank you, Matthews Playhouse. This is major. This is major for playwrights. This is major for playwrights of color. For us to have this platform, I hope it's going to happen year after year after year. Cool, good. That we will have this platform to present new work. All right, a different selection of criteria is being utilized to select the grand prize winner. The readings will be evaluated based on stage adaptability and ability to meet full stage production needs. At the end of all 5 presentations, the judges will retire to deliberate and tally the scores. After their discussion, the judges will return with the announcement of the winning play of today's competition. Now, we have a heavy-hitting panel of judges today. All right, so let me introduce them to you. First, we have, who you already been introduced to, Ms. Vicki Evans, founder and facilitator of African American Playwrights Group. Ms. Vicki. And you have also heard from Ms. June Bayless, a friend for over 30 years, and the artistic director of Matthew Playwrights. Believe it or not, this next judge, I knew for about 30 years. She was about this tall, little teeny thing. She was a part of the Afro-American Children's Theater, it was AACT, way back in the day in the 80s and 90s. Anyone here who remember the Afro-American Children? Yay, good, that's what you hear, good. Aisha is the president of the View Group. She has a bachelor's in arts administration. She attended Salem College and studied theater at Wake Forest and Yale. Aisha caught the acting bug at age 9 and never wanted to leave. Let's hear what Miss Aisha do. Our next judge is her mother, who I've known for over 30 years, who is my mentor and a dear friend of mine, who is someone who I think many African-American artists or artists, period, in this Charlotte area, we stand on her shoulders, and a lot of folks have no idea that she was one of the pioneers that have paved the way for African-American theater here in this area. So we are very excited to have her today, and that is Miss Ruth Sloan. Ruth Sloan majored in theater arts and African American studies at Mackinac College in Mackinac Island, Michigan. She has directed more than 30 main stage productions and has written 8 commissioned plays. She has performed throughout Europe and in 47 states with Sing Out. Ruth believes that one of the elements that makes Black theater so phenomenal is that our history is worn proudly by oppression and brutality of society with the joys of survival. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Ruth Sloan. And last but not least, we got old Q on our panel tonight. Q, Quentin Talley, when you rolled into town?
2003.
About 2003. He came into town full-fledged. I'm going to start the theater company. Guess what he did? And been moving forward ever since. Quentin Talley was playing for multiple talents. Is an accomplished poet, actor, director, and producer. He is the inaugural recipient of the 2017 Creative Renewal Fellowship funded by the Arts and Science Council and the 2012 Leadership Youth Fellowship for Emerging Theater Professionals administered by Theater Communication Group and funded by the Andrew Mellon Foundation. Quentin is the founder and artistic director of Old Q Performing Arts in Charlotte, North Carolina. Old Q is a nonprofit professional theater dedicated to educating and producing classic, contemporary, and original performance work that reflects the Black experience. In 2019, Q became the program director at Haytime Heritage Center in Durham, North Carolina. Currently, Q is preparing for a new album release based on the art exhibit by Marcus Heiser and Jason Woodbury entitled Intergalactic Soul, and also an EP with his band Quentin Talley and the Soul Providers. Let's hear it for Q. All right, that's our outstanding panel of judges that we have. A few notes before we get going. Today's performance, there will be no intermission. There will be breaks in between each show. I will be introducing the next playwright as one set is breaking down and another group is coming up. So there's no dedicated intermission. You may excuse yourself as needed, and please note that there are ushers in the back. Raise your hand, ushers. Are you back there? Like if you need anything throughout the show, just let them know and they'll take good care of you. A talk back will happen with all 5 playwrights after all the shows have been performed while the judges are deliberating. They'll all come out here on stage. So please be ready to ask some questions. You know, as the plays are going along, the days come along, just make little notes so you can have questions ready for all the playwrights. The stage readings are being streamed live, and they will also be available to be viewed at the Matthews Playhouse website after the performance. All right, we will be taking donations at the end of the show out in the lobby. Please use the envelopes provided at your seat. If you don't have cash on you, please just go to our website so you can make a donation, or you can just put it in my hand. I'll make sure you use it right. It will be used properly. All right, I think that's enough. Are we ready for some plays? Yeah. Let's get to the first playwright. Crystal Joseph has been writing since high school, where, depending on the level of boredom, she would write poetry until the bell rang. After receiving her degree in humanities, creative writing from NYU, Crystal was tapped to be the playwright and director for the teen department of her church in New York. It was through those precious young people she was able to further hone her skills. Both she and her husband, Stephen, credit their over 10 years of experience working with arts and Christian theater in New York for both refining and enhancing their behind-the-scenes theatrical talents. Having lived in New York all of her life, she and her husband moved to Charlotte in 2017 to start the new leg of their theatrical journey. In 2018, Crystal published a book entitled Who's That Woman in My Bed? In 2019, she adapted the book into a screenplay for the stage, which she directed and co-produced along with her husband to bring the story to life. She and Stephen formed Crystal Clear Stories, a nonprofit organization that utilizes the arts to depict real-life drama with a redemptive theme to uplift and inspire social change. Crystal's play, Cancer, a love story, is one that speaks to us about how, when the odds are against us, love has a way of easing the harsh, brash cruelty of life. It is a story about 3 real women and their journey with cancer. Crystal's hope is that it will make you laugh and cry and hopefully show how even when faced with the unexpected harsh, brash cruelty of life, you too can lean in and be lifted up by love. Ladies and gentlemen, for your consideration, here is Cancer, a love story by Crystal Joseph.
Lord Jesus, am I going to be able to dance with my son at his wedding next year? Will chemo kill me?
What is radiation? I don't understand.
Is it okay for me to be scared?
Well, I see my 2-year-old graduating from college. Why is this happening to me?
We've been married for 15 years. Will we make it to 16?
Will my medical bills be covered? Will I die?
What do you mean? Mommy, Daddy, why me?
I prayed for a child. Had 2 miscarriages. And finally, I gave birth to my daughter. I was 40 years old. I had my husband, my 2 daughters, and on my way to my first mammogram. Life was good. And then suddenly, my husband's kidneys were gone. 5 years later, he went for this simple procedure. Now, he's had this done at least 10 times before. Yet this time, he went into a coma. I joked with the technician about the squeezing, but in the end, everything was fine. Then I turned 41. I'm going for my second mammogram. No big deal, because I know what to expect. Or so I thought. I had a C-section. My uterus was filled with tumors. Fibroids, they thought. Cancer, they were. The doctor said that the cancer would have taken my life within 6 months. My baby saved my life. We remained comatose for 8 weeks. But he woke up. Although he was just a mere shadow of himself. So I became his primary caretaker. And let me tell you, the stress, it almost took me out, literally. I have 2 children. My babies are 2 and 5 years old. They need their mother. They successfully removed all the tumors. But 6 months later, they came back. I had a mastectomy. I went through chemo. I lost all my hair. The chemo was more painful than the cancer. My baby girl, she needed me. Caretaking is exhausting. And lack of sleep, it caused me to mistake the basement door for the bathroom. And I fell down 12 steps. I injured my breastbone and I broke some ribs in my head. My God, it swelled up to twice its size. Now both of us need the caretaker. I was invited to sing at a wedding the same week that I found out that I had cancer. I didn't want to ruin their day with my problems, so I attended. I sang my song. I danced with the groom and cried in the bathroom. I had an amazing 2 years with my husband and my daughter. My strength came back, and my hair grew back, and everything. And then just a slight, I wouldn't even call it a pain. More like something.
So a few months after the fall, I decided to look in the mirror at my bruises. And that's when I saw just a tiny bit ooze coming from my right areola.
How am I supposed to handle this? I have a husband who loves me, 2 daughters that need me, and cancer. I don't want to go back. I don't want to come back to the doctor because I know. Oh God, please increase my faith as I prepare for the worst. I couldn't stop thinking negatively because somehow faith looms just outside of my reach. I prayed. And God, He brought me through that surgery just fine. And my husband, he worried all day long. So when he found out that I was good, he took a deep breath. He praised God. He sat down and he died. I need thee. Oh, I need thee. And every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now, now my Savior. I come to my extended family wasn't very close, or at least not as close as I would have liked them to be.
I was released from the hospital early in my husband's room. And my children, they just loved on and they supported me because I was so weak.
My relationship with my father was not good. But during this process, God blessed me with so many father figures. My pastor, minister, fathers of my friends, they poured so much encouragement into me, just like a loving father would for their own child. Oh, well, I didn't know it at the time, but my auntie started a conference call prayer for me, okay? Family members from all over the world were calling in to pray for me. Even my streetwise friends and cousins would pray for me. And you know what they would say? Yo, Lord, heal my head. She good people, you heard? Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus.
But I am very much afraid for me. I pray whenever, wherever, and for whomever. But something changed after this. And people would begin to come and pray for me. It was like something was lifted from my eyes, and what I couldn't see clear before, I can see clearly now, and that was that people outside of my family, they love me.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Those men and women gave me a shot of fake adrenaline every time they prayed for me and my daughter. Oh, and my husband. To me, it was a lot. But to him, it was all about his love to me. Oh, thank you, Jesus. When like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea below roll, whatever my life thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. Is well with my soul, with my soul. Is well, is well with my soul. Oh, cancer! I wouldn't wish cancer on my worst enemy. Yeah, I know that's right. But there's one thing that is very clear to me. That if it had not been for the Lord and his people, I would not be this far. God is good. Believe it. And live it. Death. Woo! What a thought. That I would die sentence. What? God reconnected me with family and friends that I lost along the way. But let me tell you something. Those family members and friends that have always been there, let me tell you what they did. Oh, they just came into some really close to pray for them, to sit with me, and to love and thank you. They are the afflictions of the righteous, but my Lord delivers them from them all. Yes, he does. Now that deliverance, it may result in death here on earth, but if you believe in a heaven, and I hope you do, that is the ultimate. Yes, it is. See, this life, what a thing compared to eternity. So I place before you life and death. Save the Lord. Choose life. Come on now. Come on now. He's no right now. There you go. Yes, he is. On time, God. Yes, he is. Oh, well, he may not come in the morning, but he'll be there right on time. I said he's an on time God. Oh, Lord.
Lyric, brain cancer, departed champion. Matthew, colon cancer, surviving champion. Bonnie, kidney cancer, surviving champion. Duran, prostate cancer, surviving champion. Donna, lung cancer, departed champion. Kenya, breast cancer, departed champion. Connie, leukemia, surviving champion.
Annie, breast cancer, surviving champion.
Maria, breast cancer, surviving champion.
Jocelyn, uterine cancer, departed champion.
All right, let's hear it one more time for Christian. That's how you kick off a playwriting club. No, we couldn't start with nothing light. It just was great funny. Ooh, that was heavy hitting. Good work, very good work. All right. And the next group is setting up. And the judges are writing. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next playwright and our next show. All right. Our next playwright is Rory Sheriff. As a world traveler, Rory Sheriff contributes his time in the U.S. Army and the experience he gained by living in various cities and countries as the catalyst for his broad perspective on life, love, and adventure. Often penning his thoughts just as a means of expression, in doing so, Rory discovered his first passion for poetry and creative written expression. Simple thoughts inspired by life soon was cultivated into notebooks full of lyric prose, influenced by the works of authors and playwrights such as James Baldwin, Zora Neale Hurston, Lorraine Hansberry, August Wilson, and Tyler Perry. Rory chased his dream of entertaining readers with his unique storytelling style and released a series of steamy novels and went on to pen 4 stage plays, 4 novels, and 3 short films. He debuted his first musical, Be a Lion, in 2013. Be a Lion has been getting rave reviews across the nation, including an offer to be performed in South Africa. His second stage play is true and dear to his heart. The 2016 Chicago's Taste of Theater award-winning stage play, Boys to Baghdad, is loosely based on his experience of joining the Army and serving in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Rory attended Temple University and Central Piedmont Community College, where he majored in business and theater. He is conscious of standing on the shoulders of his ancestors as well as his mentor, the late great Shelley Garrett. Rory's play Speakeasy takes place in Reading, Pennsylvania in 1978. Raised in a strict Christian household, Virginia decides to take control of her life, starting with unlearning everything she was taught on how a woman should be. I am black, I am proud, I am strong, and I am woman. Respect that. Opting out of her marriage and facing losing her house that she grew up in due to unpaid taxes are on the brighter side of things. Having reservations, she gives into the idea of starting a speakeasy. That is when all hell breaks loose. Things get worse before they get better, rings true. But not before she meets someone who loves her for her. Judges, are you ready? For your consideration, here is Speakeasy by Rory Sheriff.
Speakeasy, written by Rory Sheriff, scenes chosen for Matthew's Playhouse. Act 2, Scene 1. The year was 1978. Horse, Belle Virginia, out of jail. The pair walks into Virginia House.
I can't thank you enough for all you did for me. 26 hours behind bars can feel like an eternity. I don't know how anybody can do that for months, years, all their life. I've got cousins that you swear they love being in jail. So thank you. I mean that.
Oh, no need to thank you.
Well, $150 ain't no chump change. I'm sure you didn't have that much cash to throw away.
It's just money. Hard work, I can make it back. I couldn't bear if I'd seen you behind bars knowing I had the means to get you out.
I'm gonna pay you back every dime.
That's what you want to do? I'm thankful. I want you to know I ain't asking for it back.
Virginia turns the TV on. She realizes the cable was turned on.
Why am I not surprised?
What's wrong?
He looks at the TV.
What happened?
You shoot the cable man, and the next day, the cable man shoots your cable. No disrespect. I mean, I am grateful for what you do. But I never met a man to give a woman $150 without wanting something in return.
She turns the knob on the TV, attempting to find a station. The channel is all fuzzy with static.
That's fair enough. Sort of puts me in a bind.
How so?
If I confess that I got a thing for you, even though I'm willing to do anything and everything it takes to win your heart, then you might make it seem like I still want something in return. I say too much.
I'm not used to a man saying how it feels. I don't know what to say.
Well, as long as you're not saying get the hell out of my house right now, it's a good song. Let me take a look.
I have an old antenna.
She walks to the drawer, grabs the antenna, tries to connect it.
Here, let me try. If you don't mind.
Not at all. I don't know what I'm doing.
Forrest begins to hook up the antenna. Marge knocks on the door. Virginia walks to answer it.
Who is it?
Ooh, Travis. Me, I'm so glad you're home.
Me too. I didn't know how long I was gonna be in there.
Hey, horse.
Hey, Mom.
Percy turned the cable off that fast.
That trifling son of a bitch. I tried to kill his ass.
Let's just thank God that you only shot him in the shoulder and that he lived, or you wouldn't be standing here with a horse working on your TV.
He's really nice. Almost too good to be true.
Now, see, it's that kind of thing you gotta block your blessing. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Good. So what you gonna do?
About what?
About the speakeasy.
I'm back to square one. I mean, I guess I gotta keep the speakeasy going. It seems like every step forward, I take two backwards.
Well, I'm here for you, I promise. I'm gonna help you save this house.
I love you, Mom.
You're my little sister and I love you too.
All done. You got 3, almost 4 stations.
Let me go find my Preston. He's having lava beans and neck bones today.
He's eating real good these days.
See you tomorrow, girl. Bye, boy.
Bye, Mom. Catch you later.
Marge exits. Virginia looks at Forrest with gratitude.
You are heaven sent.
I'm heaven sent. That means you must be heaven. Heaven must be like this. It must be like this. Oh, heaven must be like this. It must be like this.
That was pretty smooth, Prince Charming.
Here you go. I got a feeling underneath that tough skin is a kind, loving woman.
Well, I haven't seen that girl since I don't even know when.
Say, what's your story? Now, I heard a few things from John too, but I want to hear from you.
My story?
Yeah, your story.
Well, what do you want to know?
I want to know you. I remember a part you ain't been heard in a long time ago. Maybe never heard at all.
You want to know a lot for $150.
She begins to fall with him, but gathers herself together.
I'm recently separated. I have a son who's staying at my in-laws is my parents' house, which the city is about to take from me due to years of back taxes. I started to speak easy to save it, but if it weren't for bad luck, I wouldn't have none at all. Not to mention that I had a fling with someone who I thought would help me, ended up betraying me, which landed me in jail. That's my life in a nutshell. You can run now. I won't judge you.
Run for what? That don't scare me.
He reaches for her feet to get her foot off.
Lay back. Relax.
That feels so good. So, what's your story? Why did you move to Reading from,
Winston-Salem.
that's it, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, right?
Yes. There's some things in my past I'm not too proud of. I was in love with someone. Her name was Virginia E. Called Virginia for sure. I want to marry her, you know. Own some land, build a house, start a family out in the country. You know what I mean? She decided that's not what she wanted. She decided she wanted to be with someone who was well-to-do, better off than me. Nice clothes, flashy car. Caught some raven there was that son. He had so much money. He was real dead with some white man who had a fascination to sleep with black women. When he died, Carter was his next king. So he had so much money, it blinded my old lady. It fooled. She left me, moved in with him. Not long after that, it started beating her. The beating continued one day until he beat Jenny so bad she had a miscarriage. He accused her of getting pregnant by me. She stayed with her against everybody telling her it ain't gonna stop. They were right. The beatings continued for a couple of years. Jenny started talking to her friends and family. Then the worst of thoughts happened. Carson beat Jenny to the death. He bought off the judge. Going to say she perished from natural causes. Perished from natural causes. Man, don't a 22-year-old woman perish from natural causes. So, like all things, prayed back and tried to go on my life. Till one day I was walking across the street and Carson almost hit me with his car. I mean, after my life flashed in front of my eyes, I looked at him and he was laughing at me. So I did the first thing that came to mind. I spit on his windshield. He got out the car, cussing and yelling up a storm. And my name calling ain't bothered me that much. But that's when he put his hands on me. That broke the camel's back. I lost all that balled up emotion I had and hate I had for him came out all at once. I beat him for 10 every moment he put his hands on me. Beat him so bad he stopped moving. Ambulance came and rushed him off to the hospital where he later died. Cops arrested him. I sat in jail for 6 months. If it wasn't for that good old white lady that seen the whole thing, I'd still be sitting in jail. After the judge let me go, I could no longer bear the South. I couldn't take all those bad memories, so here I am. You started.
So that explains why you called me Gene.
When did I do that?
When you stood up after persecuting.
I'm sorry, I ain't nobody did that.
It's okay. Thank you for being there. You made me feel special.
You was good.
Thank you for sharing your story with me
The national anthem plays on the TV. Virginia is sleeping. She lays on horse. Thank you. Runs back. Horse gets up to lock the door. Virginia sits up as horse walks back.
Do you want to go lay down in the bed?
No. I think I want to enjoy this moment. The moment I hear from my arms all night. He gives her a kiss on the forehead. They fall asleep. They out. Scene 2. It's morning. Horse is sleeping on the couch. Virginia is sitting on the floor of the table. She rings her Tibetan several times. Candles are lit as she owns. She continues to stand. He wakes up slowly. He gets embarrassed. He looks around for where the sound is coming from. He notices Virginia. Not wanting to interrupt her, he goes into the kitchen and makes some coffee. Once his coffee is made, he stands off in the distance, amazed. He sips the coffee. It's too hot.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Sorry, I didn't.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to disturb.
You didn't disturb me. I was spinning.
What does that even do?
It's called Om.
On?
Yeah. It's a form of meditation. Yeah. There you go.
What does it do?
Well, it gives peace to your mind, your body, and soul. Now, try it.
He sits next to her wanting to try. She picks up his Tibetan. What is that?
It's a Tibetan. It helps with the meditation.
Can I try?
Of course.
He has a little trouble ringing it correctly. He holds his hand and guides it.
Take your time. Now say it with me. Om. Om. Again. Om. How do you feel?
You look so relaxed.
Calm?
Yeah, calm.
See? I told you.
Oh, this is out of sight. They make eye contact. They engage in a passionate kiss. She stops.
Wait. I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
I ain't you. She stands up.
Let me go shower.
Do you mind if I cook your breakfast?
A man's never cooked for me before.
Was today to be your very first time? She walks rapidly upstairs to shower. He looks at her with excitement as she exits. He turns on the radio. He sings as he walks to the kitchen. Knock on the door loudly. Virginia comes out and steps in nightgown and slippers. She turns the music off and answers the door.
Hold on! Hold on! Who is it?
It's me.
Girl, I thought you were the police or something.
Well, I thought something happened to you. That door ain't never locked.
Horse locked it last night.
Oh. Ooh, you nasty little anybody.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened, look. Then why are you cooking him breakfast?
Well, I ain't the one cooking breakfast.
You mean to tell me you got a man in the kitchen cooking you breakfast and you ain't give him none?
Yep.
Forrest comes in wearing an apron with a plate for Virginia. You go, my dear. A sudden disaster. Oh, hey, Mom, I didn't know you were here. You hungry?
You gotta know?
Oh, there's plenty. Forrest returns to the kitchen, Marge, confused and
Did you let him smell it? Touch it?
Virginia is full in love.
No. Oh, he held me in his arms all night long.
Child, I hate to think when you do give him some.
Well, who says I'm gonna give him some?
Child, please. When the last time a Negro cooked you some breakfast?
Never.
Exactly. He not only cooked you breakfast, but you ain't give him none. It's the little things that like the fire. Shit, I give Lloyd just a little bit of that Negro just scrambled me so bad.
Boys return to the place more.
There you go, my sister. Bon appetit.
Wee.
Boys walked away to clean the kitchen.
French speaking horse.
It just feels too good to be true.
Stop right there. Repeat that first part.
What?
What you just said.
It feels too good to be true.
The first part of that.
It feels too good.
Yeah. Right there, that part. It feels too.
It feels too good.
Say it again.
It feels too good.
Now, when was the last time you said something felt too good and it wasn't sex?
Never.
Exactly. This man just showed me two things that you've never experienced before in your own house. He's worth looking into. You ask me, he's worth keeping around.
Ain't in no rush to settle down. Harold damaged me in person, ruined any hopes and dreams I may have had. Seems like my knight in shining armor rode up, and I can give two damns about it.
Boris walks in to grab the plates off the table. You ladies ready?
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there any left over?
Yeah, there's enough for bacon and eggs, man.
Oh, good. You mind if I take you to go?
No, I don't mind at all.
Marge gets up to go with the sandwich.
Go ahead, huh?
She kisses her on the forehead.
I had a wonderful night. And moment.
Thank you for everything.
The two embrace in a long hug. Force leaves. She faints. Joy as he leaves.
All right, let's hear for the cast of speakers. Good job. Y'all got a lot of choices to make that judges. All right. As we get ready and get set up for the third, I'm going to introduce our third playwright. Coolidge Harris attended California State University, Sacramento, and after graduation was a member of the Sons and Ancestors Play Theater troupe under the artistic direction of the late T. Michael Gates. Coolidge uses poetic language to tell the stories of the Black American experience. He has authored The One Act Play, A Trial for Butchie, and later wrote Footsteps in the Dark. After a move to the Bay Area after spending 25 years in the Washington, D.C. metro area, Coolidge came back to California and retired as an educator to pursue his passion in playwriting. Coolidge has always been a fan of the theater. He was inspired by watching August Wilson's Mulready's Black Bottom and Fences in the late 80s at San Francisco's Curran Theater, and having the honor of meeting James Earl Jones in his dressing room after a performance of A Falls Through Guards, Master Harold and the Boys. His more recent plays are Golden Wings and Greenwood. He fondly calls Greenwood his first play after using his life experience to tap into the souls of the hundreds lost on that day, May 31st, 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Coolidge was inspired with Greenwood because it's the untold American tragedy. This year commemorates the 100-year anniversary of the Black Wall Street Massacre. Greenwood was honorable mention in 2020 at Pandora's Box Playwrights Competition and a finalist in 2020 American Associations of Community Theater New Play Festival, and is currently a semifinal in the 2021 National Playwrights Conference at the Eugene O'Neill Theater. Coolidge's play, Greenwood, takes place today leading up to the massacre of Black Wall Street. The catalyst that ignited the massacre that devastated the Greenwood district is revealed, and the boarding house owner is revisited by his past. A man has to pay what he owes. Judges, are you ready? For your consideration, here is Greenwood by Coolidge Harris.
Once I lived a life of a millionaire. Is it real money? I didn't care. I carried my friends out for a good time, but to play liquor and faded wine. When I begin to go so low, I didn't have a friend, no place to go. But I'll get my hand on the door again. I'm gonna hold on to it. Yeah, here he goes, friend. Nobody knows. When you down and out, in my pocket, not one penny. And my friends, I have a minute, but if I ever get on my feet, and I'll be my long lost friend. It's my dream without a doubt. Nobody knows you when you out in love. I see.
Hey, Miss Lucille.
Hey there, young boy. You work late today.
Yes, ma'am. Tomorrow's a holiday, so I want to stay late, and tomorrow might be slow.
You're just raking in the money.
I'm trying. I got 2 steady jobs now. They keep me pretty busy. I plan to save up and buy a house, some land, and put one on. I want to be like Mr. Red.
And Mr. Red is always down. He always got hands in something.
Yeah, he's got houses, a business. Now he's working on buildings. Mr. Stratford's the only one I know that got more than what Mr. Red got. Him and Mr. Girl.
Aren't you the ambitious one? Well, you keep working. One day you'll be your own boss, if that's what you want.
Yes, ma'am. I suppose I don't mind working for somebody if it's a good job. But I can still own property. Mr. Red said owning property is the king's ransom. Listen, Lucille. I wrote this letter to my friend. I'm going to give it to her tomorrow and tell her how I feel.
Young boy, that's from him. A woman always want to know the word that's sitting on the man's heart.
So you think I should give it to her?
Why, of course, young boy. You want to know how you feel, don't you?
Maybe you can read it and let me know how it sounds. I just did what Mr. Tucker said. I put my cards on the table face up so she can see my hand.
Young boy, this is a beautiful letter. Short, sweet, and honest. I believe she's gonna love it.
Hey, Mr. Red, I picked up a new job. I saved my money, just like you said. I have a new girlfriend, too. I'm going to give her this letter tomorrow. This Lucille read it. She liked it, too. I'd like to give it to her without Miss Lucille's liking it.
Slow down, young boy. That's a whole lot of information to take in. Now, wait, now who is this new girlfriend? I thought you were all locked in on one.
I'm the same one. Well, it's not really official, but I'm going to ask her tomorrow.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. It shows your confidence.
Mr. Red, I got over close to $700 saved up. Do you think you can teach me about land?
Land option purchase. I mean, if you haven't, then I can tell you all you need to know right now. Now, first thing you need to know that there are risks. Because it's like betting. You're not just betting that land is going to gain value, but it will increase enough in value to offset the risk that you're going to take. So, don't want to risk drowning, you shouldn't get in the pool. You got that?
Red Man, don't you have to go to the warehouse?
Oh, look at the time. Young boy, I'll fill you in some other time.
You'll lose your head if it wasn't screwed onto your shoulder.
Young boy, see that woman right there? She does a whole lot more than keep track of my time. I don't know what I'll do now.
Get going, man.
I better get some rest. I had a long day.
And you have a big day tomorrow.
Lucy, a perfect bitch.
A woman with a feather duster?
Not just any woman. I would say you the only woman that can make a man stop whatever he do and watch a tiny little.
Well, thank you, sir. It just sounds so familiar talking to you. I mean, with a name like sir and all, I suppose it'll take some years.
We got all the time in the world. You know, my first trade is a carpenter. I build houses, wagons, furniture, most anything made of wood. I worked for a man his daddy owned the street. Old fella, mean and ornery. His son wasn't at all like his dad. He wouldn't allow me to call him Mr. And he even said to me, if sir is your name, that's what I'll call him. I called him Mr. by his last name anyway. It just didn't seem right us being on first name basis. Well, the work I was doing, he hired me to build a stable, and a barn, and a shed for some horses he acquired. He said I could use some of the fellows he had to go work on the property. Of course, they was all white. Oh, they didn't like that. And could you imagine a white boy doing what I tell them to do and calling me sir?
No, sir, I can't imagine that.
Oh, man. And they didn't either. So most of the work I did myself, except for when I needed another set of hands. I told my boss I had it done in no more time than 4 months. I was getting paid by the day, so it did not need to be a while longer than I expected, as long as I bet my pay. The day I got to work, he asked me, could I fix up an old piano his mama played before she died. I had played, the chords played on it, I had played. It was a little bit off balance. It had gotten chipped, banged up, and lost its polish over time. His wife, oh, she was beautiful. She's from a place called Amsterdam, tall, with sandy brown hair. She had high cheekbones, long eyelashes, and her skin was the color of dairy milk. She had these natural red lips that just gave a nice contrast. She would move a certain way or say a certain thing, and it just looked and sounded different from the way anyone else would move or say it. The old man would say, now boy, you work with your back to her.
I think he was on to you.
Yeah, he was. But facing the other side of the room was painted. Oh, it was beautiful to see. The building was an architecture I had never seen before. The colors just stood out. It was set against this bright blue sky. There was a channel of water that ran through the city between these two beautiful structures. I asked her about it, and she said it was a painting of a place in Italy. I told her someday I'd have to go there.
The way you describe it, it sounds beautiful.
It was a beautiful woman, a beautiful place. That's what I think about when I see you.
Now, if you're trying to make me blush,
No.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of beautiful things in your travels. And what brought you to Greenwood?
I was just looking to stake a claim to something I could call my own.
Would you like something to drink, sir?
Thank you, I would. And how about you? What got you Greenwood?
I didn't know anything about no Greenwood. It was all Red Man's idea. He came home one day and said, we're moving to Greenwood. Greenwood is going to be our home and we'll never have to move.
Am I drinking alone?
You, sir, are late to the party. Shanice and I started early.
And you followed him here to Greenwood.
He is my husband. and I trust he would make the best decisions for us. We knew each other when we were just kids. My family, my mother, moved to Kentucky. Later on, he found me, you might say. He's the only man I've ever loved.
How can you be so sure he's the right one if he's all you ever know?
Have you ever had anything you wouldn't trade? Anything of such high physical, material, or emotional value that it just couldn't be replaced?
Anything can be replaced. Anything except life itself. You sure are fine.
What are you doing? You stop it!
Lucille, I left no what? What's going on?
What you think going on?
Lucille, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Oh, you think you're a bad man? What's the matter? You afraid she can't handle herself while you're away?
What the hell is this?
You ever get in the time rate? I did 25.
I know that, 25 years. Well, like I said, you did your time, it's done.
Great. Have you ever get in time?
No.
I was in the Kentucky State Penitentiary. There's a whole lot to hate about being there. But what I couldn't stand most was the cells were hot as hell in the summer and freezing cold in the winter. I could never get used to that. So the only time I could tolerate it was after the summer before the cold set in, and after the winter before it got hot as hell again.
Where are you going with this?
Smelling on the seal. Fill it all up, maybe you realize just how fucked up prison is. Oh, come on. I waited 25 years for this.
I don't know what you want, but you got the wrong man.
No. All right, it's right. You know Brad Colbert? I was out late that night when I saw the flames coming from his way. I got closer and I saw the house burning to the ground. I saw that little girl up in that little above screaming, pleading for her life. And I saw you. I saw you look back at her and you run away.
You don't understand.
Oh, yeah. He made it out of the house. I ran up to him, kneeled down there. He saw me, asked me for help. I heard people coming, so I ran. That girl died in that fire. Caldwell died in the hospital 2 days later, but not before he told and put that fire on me.
You don't know the whole story.
I know you owe me a debt.
I didn't mean for that girl to die. She wasn't supposed to be there. I went there to talk to Caldwell. He wouldn't listen. I just wanted to talk to her. I didn't want to hurt that girl. I didn't even know she was there. Sipping drink when I was I just wanted to explain to her.
So really never.
I tried to talk to him.
I did 25 years. I lost my name.
Listen to me.
I lost my dreams.
You don't understand.
I don't even want me a debt. A man got paid. What do you owe?
What do you think he wants?
Compensation. He wants to get established.
I feel like there's more.
What could it be? I mean, I'm going to make it right. He'll be happy with what I propose. Everything will be forgotten.
If it was that simple, he would have said.
I'll make it right. It's time I make it right. Look, we know I made a bad decision when we were young, but the decision I made gave me the chance to be with the only woman I've ever loved. I loved you from the first time I saw you. I was 10 years old. I wanted to take care of you then, and I want to take care of you now. You are why I live, Lucille. I can't do it alone, and I can't do it without you. Yet, I can't escape the mistake I made. Sir, in the flesh is a reminder what I did in my head almost every day since that night. I keep hearing that child screaming in my head almost every day. I just want to settle this, pay what I owe, so we can move on together.
I love you. Hello? Yes, this is she. Young boy is where? He assaulted a white girl and a lynch mob. Yes, of course I want to speak with him. Young boy, are you okay? This is your friend? The girl you wrote the letter to?
Yes, ma'am. I would never hurt her.
I know.
I'm in a jail cell now. I can hear a bunch of them saying what they're going to do to me for putting my hands on a white girl. The sheriff is protecting me. I can hear a man say it's better to give me to the mob so nobody gets hurt because of me.
This is my fault. I should not have encouraged you to write that letter.
No, ma'am. Mr. Lucille, it ain't nobody's fault because I didn't do nothing. Can Mr. Red come and get me? I can bail myself out. I just want to come home. Please.
Young boy, you just... Hello? Hello?
Baby, this is not your fault.
He's scared to death, and he should be with that mob barking at him. He's just a boy. He needs to come home.
He'll come home.
He needs to come home now. He's terrified.
The boy didn't do anything wrong, Lucille. These white folks just being silly. They'll get tired and go home.
How do you know? You have to get him.
We can't get him out until he has a hearing and the judge sits bed. The only thing to do now is wait.
We can't wait. How long do you think he's going to last there?
Lucille, the safest place for him is in that jail. Business owners can't be seen amongst that crowd. The more they think you have, the bigger you are a target. We got time to plan ahead. I don't know how bad this is going to get. Maybe the judge and police commissioner will get a clear head to release him after these mobs quiet down. I mean, it's a work day tomorrow. So hopefully everything will go back to business as usual. But that's not the case. We have to have a plan. In the morning, I'll go by the jailhouse to check, make sure the young boy's okay. I'll talk to JB. We'll give him the best representation we can find. Don't worry. Young boy will come home.
All right, one more time for Greenwood. You guys enjoyed yourself so far? We're very happy to see all this nice work going on this stage, not just by the playwrights, but also by these actors.
Yes.
All right, let's get on to our fourth playwright. Kenyatta M. Godbold, MS, CCC, SLP, is a speech language pathologist and owner of Gold Oak Consultants. Godbold Consultants, GLLC provides speech and language services for children with communication delays in Rowan and Cabarrus counties. Kenyatta hopes that his work can teach individuals to forgive their parents while providing insight to understanding their flaws. Children need love and support when they are young and even more when they approach adulthood. Kenyatta expresses his inspiration for writing the play, which stemmed from his life experience of growing up on Long Island, New York in the 1980s and 1990s. In Kenyatta's play, Kings Without a Queen, David, the main character, is a 48-year-old man who is on the cusp of retirement from the New York City Department of Corrections. However, his wife of 20+ years is divorcing him for a variety of reasons. He cheated, stayed out late, and worked nights for most of their marriage. And to make matters worse, almost immediately after his wife filed for a divorce, David accidentally impregnated the mother of his oldest son's girlfriend. David is struggling to accept responsibility for his actions and parent his 2 teenage sons without the help of his ex-wife. I want to hear that. Judges, are you ready? For your consideration, here is Kings Without a Queen by Kenyatta Godbold.
This is for real hip hop cats. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the essence of the UN. I'm ready your way. Broadcasted live by remote sound. From the subterranean levels, Long Island. Without further ado, sit back and relax.
basement. He's 48 and wears some of his corrections officer's uniform. David is the parent. Montavious, 20, is David's son. Montavious appears anxious. David is very informed, but passionate. David finishes getting dressed as he speaks.
Montavious, what you still doing here? Ain't you supposed to be at night school?
I still got time, Dad. I'm not late.
And you know
I
what?
didn't get my books
I
tonight.
thought we read about you going to night school all the time. Boy, instead of me coming off on you and put my foot up in your behind, I'm talking to you real cool. Because you ain't no little kid, okay? You're grown. And I mean, you gonna start making night school as big as a priority as your lady. And being up on your girlfriend all the time is really gonna mess you up.
I know, Dad. I got it.
Hey, man, look at me, don't talk to you, okay? Don't you listen to the punk. Hey, look here, man. I'm trying to get this basement together, okay? And you're gonna rent out because I need some more money. This divorce is kicking my butt, all right? So I got somebody, and she's fine too. Yeah, I met her at the water hole, you know, in that restaurant I go to with the fellas after work. And she works at the PA's office in man.
She the what? The what? Are you for real? Come on, man.
Look, okay, she the one who helped me get your butt out of that trouble. Yeah, you know, I told you about it. She the one that made that tape disappear. You know, the tape you selling a bunch of crack cocaine to an informant, remember? She the one that helped me get that sweetheart deal for you. Everybody hammered. That's her name. Then if it worked out, she'd probably, you know, be here a few months and help us get over this here hump. If I tell you you're lucky, she may even hook you over the job or something, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea.
Man, this thing between me and your mama. Look, boy, I'm sorry what happened between me and your mama, okay? But you know what? Well, maybe just me and your mama can still work it out.
Come on, Dad. That's not gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, what? What make you so sure, huh? Oh, maybe I won't have to sell this house. Maybe she can, you know, come back and help me get your butt up out of high school. You know what I'm saying? What? Oh, because she's flying around and you can get planes traveling the world with an African doctor friend?
No, because you blew your wife. Plain and simple. You hit on all her friends. You were a hound.
Who are you talking about? Her best friend, Wendy? Hey, Wendy's a lying, low down, dirty good for nothing. Bitch, trust me. All right? I ain't never hit on Wendy. I ain't never want that woman. That woman ain't know my style. I'll tell you this. Let me ask you something. Hey, man. Where your mama was at when your butt was in jail, huh? What she told you when you called her and asked her to come get you, huh? What she say, huh?
She didn't come. She told me to stay. Dad, I gotta go. I'm gonna be late for night school.
Montavious puts on his coat.
Oh, no, hold on. You standing up here, you know, standing up for her and whatnot. I was the one that had your back. I came down to that courthouse and took you back and forth to get your butt up out of jail. I did it by myself without Cheryl. And Cheryl say, let his butt right in jail. I'll never forget that. You know how much I paid for you to get up out of there, man? I gave that there lawyer $10,000 cash, man. Yeah, it was there, remember? You came with it to the bank. $10,000 cash. Remember that? And that damn lawyer, he didn't even count. You gonna tell myself, don't worry, I trust you. And then what happened when you took your butt in front of that judge, huh? You went out the door one way, your buddies got their asses locked up.
Well, what about Wendy? Sabrina's mom, huh? How about that? You thinking Sabrina's mom, my girlfriend's mother, pregnant, was cool? You think my mother should have stayed around for that?
Hey man, I ain't even talking about that right now, okay? I'm talking about that. You're gonna have to stay in their house, okay? I'm talking about whether or not you're gonna graduate high school. Hey, look, man, what is that? Set me up, okay? You know it. She had it out for me the whole time.
And you fell for it. Why? Dad, why must you lay with every skirt that's thrown your way?
Hey man, that's not true, man. Come on now, you know.
Yes, it is. Look, the bottom line is this. I get a girl who I like. Her mom starts dating your friend's mom, your wife. Next thing I know, you hanging out with Sabrina's mom more than your own wife. That's why I don't blame mother for leaving you.
Hey man, well, you know what? I thought it would be cool, you know? Like father son kind of thing. I'm hanging with the mama, you know, you hanging with the daughter. I ain't never know what was trying to be what it did.
Man, I can't believe you got that lady pregnant. And you don't even care. That's the worst part. You got my girl's mom's pregnant and you could care less.
Hey man, hey, okay, I don't apologize for nothing. I did what I had to do for you. And you may not even understand that right now. I was looking out. Okay? And I don't even know that baby mama. You know, when you get girl mama, I just don't want she want to get married. Just like the rest of these ladies out here. But I don't want to get married to women. Still hurt. But your mama Cheryl, she killed that spirit in me. Look, son, look, okay. I'm not proud of some of the things I did.
How about all the things you did?
Hey, what you gonna do when they put that thing right up in your face? How much you gonna say no?
Yes! Man, you gotta have more self-control than that. I mean, you knocked up my girl's mom. It gets no worse. Let me call her back. I don't know why Sabrina keeps blowing me up.
Hey, boy, I ask you this one last time, okay? Why did that thing keep going off? Huh? What are you, some doggone street pharmacist or something? I mean, what you got they want, huh?
Come on, Dad. It's Sabrina. I got the beeper for her, Dad. After you got me out of trouble, I told you like I've been telling you now. I'm done with that life. Period.
Boy, sometimes you lie, just like your mama. Hey, man, you know you've been a little old school player, right? Ain't nothing slipped to a can of oil. I mean, come on, man, you're 20 years old, you're still trying to get up out of high school. Man, what would you do if I put this house up for sale right now, retired, huh? What would you do? Because you know this year makes 25 years on the job, so I retire any day now, and I plan on doing just that. Now, I'm gonna get rid of this house sooner than you think too, so.
Octavius is close to opening the front door before speaking.
Dad, remember I used to work as a caddy at the golf club in East Meadow? I really liked that job. Why'd you make me stop?
Why'd make you stop? Because you ain't no caddy. That's why. Look, man, don't ask no dumb question like that right now. Ain't you about to leave from high school?
Yeah, I am, but Dad, I made some good money up there. Sometimes I would come home with like $100 a day.
Well, I ain't like it, okay? You sucking up and kissing the white boy's breath? Man. I ain't raised you like that. You ain't nobody's nigga. Now go to school. Get yourself an education. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that was the best paying legal job I ever had. You know, my mother also never understood why you made me quit that caddy job. I'll see you later, Dad.
Octavius exits as David speaks.
Oh yeah, but here you go again about you and your mama. Well, if your mama loves you so much, why she leave you here with me, huh? Huh? Why she do that, man? What you need to do is take your hands out your pockets and go for some job applications right now, okay? That's what you do. You better get up out of here on that bull crap.
Amber enters. She's in her early 40s. She's David's girlfriend. She has luggage. David's tone changes immediately.
Hi, babe. Is that Montavious? I should have introduced myself. Is everything all right?
Hey, Amber, what's thinking? Hey, don't worry about that, boy. I'll introduce you later. I thought you was coming tomorrow.
I wanted to surprise you. What's wrong? Is this not okay?
Oh, no. Everything.
They awkwardly embrace.
What's wrong? Ever since we talked about doing this, you've been acting weird. I haven't seen you at the bar lately, and now you act like you don't want to kiss me.
So Amber, look, I need to ask you something. How did he take it? You know, when you told him what coming back?
I didn't tell him. I just left, okay? I know I have a crazy ex, but so what? You don't have to keep throwing it in my face. And you have a psycho ex-wife as well, correct? So I mean, what's the problem?
I mean, nothing. Everything cool. Listen, Amber, look, I need to talk to you, okay? Thank you for that legal tip you gave me. I told my lawyer what you said.
Babe, that's great, but what about us? I mean, do you want this thing between me and you to actually work? Because like I said, I mean, where are you exactly at with your divorce? And is it official? What about the paternity case with the other woman?
You know, I still haven't really started to process my divorce yet. I mean, I just haven't started to process a lot lately. You know, I don't know how can I say it. I lost my individuality in my marriage. I lost myself, and I'm just going to find
himself again. Hey, matter of fact, let's just go for a walk to the park before my shift, okay? Hey, let's just do that. Let's just head to the park, take a walk, and let's go.
So this one's for y'all, step up, go in the town. We discuss the sky. Don't get wrapped up, bartender, fill my cup now. Hold the hot back. Oh, Amy, got me speaking full time. Blue cheek, and buffalo wings with red tape. Slow ball on the corners of man. A no-brainer.
No. Martinez takes items out of his backpack. He places the items near his phone. He takes out books, money, white powder in a plastic bag. He takes off his shirt and puts on plastic gloves. He goes to use the phone as he dials the number. Amber enters from the basement door. She has on a nightgown. Montavious immediately hangs up the phone and rushes to cover his items with his shirt.
Yo, you just can't run up on people. You need to go back downstairs.
I need to get a drink of water. I'm thirsty.
Amber pours water. Montavious takes off the plastic gloves and cases.
What are you hiding underneath your shirt? Monty, what's that under the shirt? Is that what I think it is?
It's nothing. It's baking soda. Listen, lady, go downstairs. Besides, who you? You ain't nobody. I keep forgetting you even stay here.
I'm not going anywhere until you answer every single last one of my questions. Monty, what's under the shirt?
I just told you, it's nothing. What are you, deaf? You know, I wanted to ask you something. I saw you with your little punk boyfriend the other day.
Excuse me? You mean my friend?
Whatever. Does that white boy know you banging my dad? Because I know my dad could care less about the other man. You ain't nothing to him, no way. He'll never love you the way he loved my mother. He'll just keep playing you like he do all these other floozies on here on these streets.
He goes to the phone and begins to dial the number.
This is not about me or your crazy mother. Don't avoid my questions. You should be ashamed of yourself. After everything your father has done for you, and after everything I've done for you, you're still going around your own neighborhood selling junk? Do you not recall all the trouble your father and I just got you out of? Do you not know that I put my freaking job on the line for you?
Lady, you better mind your business and act like you got some common sense. Like I said before, you're just another one of my dad's freaks. Now, I'm not going to ask again. I'm being real nice, real cool. Go downstairs.
This dials the number.
Hello? Yo, what up, kid? What you need? Where you at, yo?
Well, I'm telling your father when he
Well, I'll be
comes
here in
back.
20 minutes.
So if I were you,
What?
I'd get rid of that
Yo,
crap
hold on.
before the morning.
Yo, you don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe I will call
Yo,
him.
I call her in.
But I know I would.
I'll be there
That
soon.
would kill your father.
So,
One,
who
yeah,
over there?
tried to cause
What y'all doing? Oh, where the
activity in your father's house. You know what? You really are disgusting, selfish,
Hold on a minute. Matter of fact, I'll call you back.
Amber goes to grab his shirt covering his items. Montavious intercepts her, shoves her to the ground. Her bra is exposed.
How dare you? How dare you? You're going to jail, Montavious. You're going down.
Oh, I told you, ain't nobody playing with you. You ain't nobody, you don't know me. You ain't my girl, you ain't my mama, and you ain't no sister.
Next day, afternoon, David is pacing. He's angry. Montavious slowly enters the house.
Hey, what's going on, Dad? Can we talk?
Man, you do know Amber works for the DA's office, right? Why you assault her? Boy, I am this close to showing my
Dad, I was just trying to get my stuff. I tried to stop her from touching my personal belongings.
So I gently placed my hands on her shoulders and she fell on the floor by accident. It was her fault.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, you're an assault charge on that jail time, right? And just so we're clear, that's a 1 to 3 years off the top automatically. It's a bullet. David charges, Monty.
I know, Dad. I know. I messed up.
David slaps his son in the back of the head twice. And you know what I get so upset when I'm pissed off and keep on running? Because I love you, son. And I ain't have no family, okay? And I ain't know my mama or my dad. Shoot, I was raised by white people for the first 5 years of my life.
Yeah, I know. I remember you told me when I was a kid.
Dad, listen, I didn't have no name for the first 5 years of my life. Think about that. They called me boy, like horse or pig, because that's all I was. A little nigga boy that helped me crops and back. But they fed me good, and gave me a warm place to stay with bed. One day when I was about 5 years old, that man's wife kept feeling sorry for me. And she baked me a cake and told me that I didn't birth me. And I said, what's that? She said, just be quiet and eat the cake. Remember his name, David. She told me my name was David. And she gave me a birthday. It was August 7th. Then she told me I was around 5 or 6 or 7 years old. And soon after that, they gave me to the black church. And that whole church raised me, Big Papa California.
Dad, just wanted to tell you that Wendy had the baby. Wendy had the baby. It's a girl. We named her Keisha.
So that's why you're here, huh? To tell me that. Who's we? And who is Keisha? Montavious. I don't know that child. I don't know about no baby. When you had that baby, huh? What the baby look like?
The baby looks like you, just like you. And Dad, Sabrina's pregnant too.
Say what? You serious? So Sabrina's having your baby. And you sure it's yours?
Yes, I'm sure. Just like I'm sure her mama's baby's yours.
You told Cheryl, you told your mama, what'd she say?
I told her, she said, me and Sabrina are gonna have to either get our own place or bring the baby to her because she's not coming to Wendy's house.
Oh man, I'm talking about Wendy having that baby. Did you tell your mom?
Dad, she doesn't care about that. She said if the baby's yours, then you just need to take financial responsibility for your child.
Hey, I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry about that whole situation, But you have to go through that legal thing in order to find out that baby's mine. And how you gonna take financial responsibility for your child? I mean, hey, I know Wendy ain't working because she just had that baby, and I know your lady ain't working because she's pregnant. Hey, don't you know the police are looking for you? They got a warrant for your arrest, man.
I still gotta eat and take care of my responsibilities as a man.
Well, you ain't gotta do it over there with them, okay? If that baby your blood, cool. Do what you gotta do, all right? But son, you gotta finish your education. Because you're not gonna be able to do the right thing over there with all the babies and them women folk. But you know what I'm really scared of, son? I'm scared that there are people gonna be either killing you behind, or you're gonna end up at my stinking job or my filthy ward.
I'm just selling weed. It's just a little weed. Dad, it ain't coke, it ain't crack, it's weed. It's not dangerous.
Boy, you're just on probation. You remember? I don't care what you're selling. You get caught this time, and they haul you off to prison with your buddies, period. And I won't be able to do nothing for you.
I don't want anything from you. I'm straight.
Boy, you don't know the police are hit to your game. They smarter than you think, you know. You better watch your back and ask God for forgiveness.
I don't care if they hit to my game. I ain't scared of the police. And you know, I stopped believing in God a long time ago. There ain't no such thing as a mystery God.
You see that right there? You see that? That's why I ain't gonna be worried about your boy no more. And I tell you another thing. I ain't gonna be working for the Department of Corrections when you become an inmate. Not gonna happen. On my watch, no sir, Bob.
Dad, you don't have to quit for me because I'm not going to jail. I'm not stupid. I don't care. Ain't afraid to go to prison. Besides, me and Sabrina are about to move up out of Long Island anyway.
The police are onto your game, son. They're tying your silly behind your mess. You hear me? Remember not to slip to a can of oil.
Okay, all right, I'm coming. Hold your horses.
David opens the door. Amber enters the house forcefully.
Dave, so we need to talk. Oh, look who it is. The man of the hour. Dave, your son better watch his mouth because anything he says in my presence from this moment on can and will be used against him in a court of law.
Oh, I'm not scared of you, lady. I'm right here.
What? Hey, sit your narrow tail down before I break your face with my fist. Okay? Hey, Amber, I mean, come on. I thought you were cool.
Well, Dave, you know we're not cool. But you know how we can be cool again? Take your son down to the precinct. You are aiding and abetting a fugitive as we speak.
Amber, come on. We're talking about my son. Can't be, you know.
Yo, this lady bugging. David, kick her out.
So you have a choice. Either waltz your son down to the station right now, or I'll be back with the boys in blue to do it for you.
You know what? Do what you gotta do.
How about that? I'm out of here. Believe it!
You know where I work, and you know the people I work with, and you know how some of them treat young colored boys.
Look, you need to go, okay? I can't even believe the words that are coming out your mouth right now. You're right. We're not friends. And you're not walking with him, okay?
He ain't giving you nothing, can't do nothing for you.
You're going to regret this decision because your son will stand before a judge to defend himself against these accusations and possibly more. Your son has prior convictions. He's been arrested and charged before. I know this. You know this. This is a very valid criminal case. He will need a lawyer to defend himself, or you can beat him to the wolves for all I care. Is that what you want? Oh, and by the way, remember that money I gave you? I want it back. All of it.
Morning. Montavious sits at the kitchen table and begins clearing the table so he can eat a sandwich. David eventually enters. Montavious wears expensive clothes, fancy jewelry. David wears his work clothes.
Hey, whose car is that outside? Is that yours? What happened to that other car? You crashed it?
No, I still got it. But I got this one for me, and the other one for Sabrina.
Montavious hands David the sandwich.
So what's up, huh? I ain't seen you in forever. You ain't come here just to bring me no breakfast sandwich from all the way from Sam's Deli and show off you the ride.
You know Sam's Deli got the best breakfast sandwiches in Long Island. And it's a brand new ride. I'll take you for a spin if you want. Look, Dad, I came into some money. So I wanted to give you some. I mean, it's not 10 G's, but it's close. That's for getting me out of that little trouble back in the day.
Montavious places the money on the table. David begins eating the sandwich.
You won't need to give me any money, son. You're probably gonna need that money for bail money soon. I will keep that.
Dad, I'm meeting with the lawyer this afternoon to see what's going on about that Amber situation.
Oh, I see. So I guess you're a businessman now, huh?
I mean, I can't complain. You know, I'm thinking about opening a barber shop, restaurant, something. To watch this little money.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, what about school, huh? Wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back in, but right now I'm focusing on other things, you know?
Well, look, I got an offer for this house, okay? And your mom and I came to an agreement. We're gonna be out of here in 90 days. And I signed my retirement papers too. So don't expect to get out of jail free card for me no time soon, because I ain't got like that no more, brother. In a few weeks, I officially retired from the Department of Corrections.
Oh, I understand. I respect that. You earned it.
You got that right. 22 years of being married to your mama, and 25 years of dealing with inmates like yourself, job any man grace.
Listen, I didn't come here to fight. We're having a baby shower for Sabrina. I wanted to give you the invite.
Montavious gives David the invitation.
Okay, well, I'll try to make it, you know. Hey, when that baby due?
In a few months. I can't believe it. I'm gonna be a father.
So what's up, man? I think that's it. You can take the money. I don't want it. You can take that dirty money and back here. You know, I see you when I see you.
No, there's one more thing. Dad, I thought this would be better coming from me than some stranger walking up to your job.
Montavious goes into his inside pocket, hands David an envelope.
Oh, now you giving me letters too? Boy, something else. Who this from, Wendy? What's this? Who this from? A lawyer?
Yeah, it's a court-ordered paternity test for the baby.
Oh, so Wendy got you doing her dirty work now too, huh? Boy, how she talk you into doing this to me?
She didn't have to talk me into it. I mean, that's family too.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you get up out of here and go back and see your family and be with them, okay? You know, I see you.
All right. So we good?
Yeah, okay, yeah, we good. And oh yeah, thanks for the sandwich too. It's a good sandwich.
Front page spread, eating no shoes. Can't do something to a slave and told. Oh no slave, right boss and Nino Bravo. Y'all call better behave now tomorrow. My word, get you with head, haven't you heard? 4 pound, put you around for true. It's fucking on the bill, watch if you got show. Shirt, face down.
David is pacing. Amber feels guilty. Her presence angers David. Her lunch is by the door. They are arguing.
What are you still doing here, huh? What are you still standing there for? Get out! You're the one that got my son beat up and arrested and in the hospital.
I did not. I was the one who tried to warn you, remember?
Well, you got what you wanted. The police found Montavious. He got pulled over and they kicked his tail up and down the road. And they towed his car and threw him in jail. They beat him up so bad they had to take him to the hospital first. He couldn't even book him because his face was all swollen. They probably got him handcuffed to a gurney.
I had no idea. Really, babe?
Yes, you did. Don't lie. Look, I'm at the retirement party, okay? And the warden, the man I've been working for over 20 years, pulls me to a side and say my son just got busted up by the cops. I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
Let me come with you to the hospital and talk with the arresting officers. Maybe I can pull a few strings.
No, you've done enough.
Jay, come on.
Just go.
You know me.
Do I really know? Because I don't think I do. Okay, I don't believe that.
Well, you told me yourself that Montavious was heading for trouble. You don't have all the facts until you speak with the arresting officers. I hate to say it,
Then don't
but
say
maybe
it.
he could have been resisting arrest.
So you need to go now, okay? And ain't no need for you to say goodbye. Ain't no need for you to come over here and give me no hug and none of that. Okay, just go.
Montavious' face is bandaged. He wears a shirt and tie. He speaks with the audience in a somber but friendly manner.
Shoot. I thank God Dad had bail money for me to get out. Paid my lawyer. Gave me a chance to spend some more time with my newborn son. Hey, y'all. I found God. For real. Look, I'm gonna need y'all to do me a favor. I'm gonna need y'all to find God too. And go check on my little man and little sister while I'm incarcerated. You know my dad. He gave Winnie that money for child support and all, but he ain't going over there to visit them kids. So today is probably the last day y'all see me for a good minute. The last day of freedom, you know. Man, my lawyer already told me I'm looking at 1 to 3. But you know, that's just the way it is. Nobody put a gun to my head. I did what I did, and the cops did what they did. So yeah, I'm ready to stand in front of that racist judge and hear what she got to say.
David enters. He wears jeans and a shirt. David holds a Bible.
Montavious, you got your affairs together? You know, and everything in order? Is there anything else you need to take care of? Anything else before we split to the courthouse?
No, Dad, we straight. Just thanks for bailing me out and everything.
Look, if we that's flawless. Whether you're incarcerated or free, but you know, I can't speak for your mama at all, but son, look, I may not be the best husband or father for that matter, but I'm trying to be a better person. You see what I'm saying? And you know, ever since I sold this house and retired, ever since I got back into ever since you got your butt back into all this trouble, I've been reading my Bible a lot and taking it with me everywhere I go. Retirement gives me some time to think and reflect. You know what I'm saying?
David hands Martavis the Bible.
I kept this Bible in my locker at work for 25 years. Okay? This is one Big Mama Gallopin gave me. Take it with you. They won't take it from you when you go through processing. They'll give you something to do with your hands.
They embrace. Martavis takes the Bible. They begin to walk out of the house.
Okay, I'm ready. Dan, you know what? I ain't seen Sabrina or my son for weeks. Ever since that day at the courthouse, he stopped answering my calls.
Well, her mother, Wendy, yeah, she definitely be calling me for that child support payment. Wendy be calling me, put that money in her account every Friday.
But that's okay. I don't want Sabrina or my son to visit me while I'm incarcerated, because I don't ever want my son to know what it's like to feel the prison walls. Dad, can you promise me something? Can you promise me that you at least try to go over there and see them kids? Because I'm gonna be home for them kids to get into kindergarten.
Yeah, I need you, son. I need you. Go grab the Bible, man. Hey, I'll tell you this. Go grab the Bible, okay? Look, either way, just focus on coming home with a cuddly face.
I'm serious, Dad.
I'm serious.
Don't blow me off.
I'm serious, son. Okay? I am too. But you're right, okay? Hey, check out that TV program. The lady who runs the program there, I told her all about you. She's expecting you. Now, come on, man. Time to get focused. Time to pay the devil what you want. I'll take it. I'll go to jail.
So we got me, it's nothing new, cause you're sitting on the boulevard with nothing to do. You can rocks in the park, but old dude still sitting on the boulevard.
All right, let's hear it. All right, 4 down, 1 to go. Last but not least, we have Raven Monroe. Raven Monroe is a playwright, actor, and singer with a BA in theater from UNC Charlotte and an MFA in dramatic writing from NYU. Born in Charlotte, North Carolina, she has specific interest in creating work that highlights the area as well as work that centers around Black women and girls. Raven's plays is based in the Piedmont of North Carolina and centered around World War I. It's a Romeo and Juliet style Southern tragedy that parallels the war abroad with the war for racial equality at home. The first play is a 3-play cycle that will follow one Southern Black family through the decades. It centers around young Ethel Parsons and her ill-advised romance with the son of a wealthy white family that employs her grandmother. In Raven's play, Love and Justice and Other Fairy Tales, just as the United States prepares to enter the Great War, a young girl in rural South dreams of more than life as a domestic. When she falls in love with the son of a wealthy white family her grandmother works for, she finds herself caught between the reality of racist violence and the refuge of the romantic fantasy she and her love has constructed for themselves. As the threat of war abroad and racism at home become hard to ignore, she is forced to confront the question of love and its power, and what it is powerless against. Judges, are you ready? For your consideration, here is Love and Justice and Other Fairy Tales by Raven Monroe.
See, it takes time to forget, and I promise you I will live for that day.
You don't have to go north to find the liberation. You can find the freedom right here, right at home in North Carolina. In fact, I believe in obligation to. it is easy to resign ourselves to the idea that there is some conflict just over yonder. That we live in a place for a black man to feel his place, to be okay with whatever they tell us the place is. It's easy to resign ourselves to fear of being defeated, but live to remember our God for the right to this country. But I ask you, for our right to be received by God, then what makes it take it from us? Why should we let men take it from us? Right here is the home that they brought us to, that they forced us to follow. Brothers and sisters, I ask you to recognize the God that we have. The strength that we will if we come together as united and fruitful force against those who somehow say we were born inferior. Dare to our face. Brothers and sisters, would you join me? Would you stand up to the front and say, no more? No, sir, I'm not causing trouble. We have every right to be here. The Constitution states that as Americans live the right to freedom in this country, we're not left in the street. Oh, sir, no, sir,
Johnny, if something starts about, the man starts behind you. He is putting his up.
What are you doing? Let me go. I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. You can't do this. You have the right to assemble. You have the right.
Scene 6. Uncle sits as Eli stands and throws a rock into the creek in front of him.
I found this place when I was like 7. I used to run here. When I get upset, get away from my family, try to catch those little frogs, you know? I could be gone for hours, but by the time I get back, all my troubles would melt away. Mother could make pound cake, hot milk, everything was all right. I really used to think this place was magic.
It's beautiful here. Be a good place for a cabin.
Maybe I'll build you one. I'll build you whatever you want.
Don't be a flirt.
You want a castle? I'll build you a big castle high in the mountains somewhere. You can be the princess.
I got no interest in being nobody's princess.
What kind of girl don't want to be a princess?
I would be a scientist or a businesswoman. I'd like to go to Chicago or New York or something like that and be a self-made woman. Like Matthew C.J. Walker, you know?
Can't say I do.
She's a millionaire and she's a colored woman. Ain't that something? She revolutionized hair care for colored women. She got a whole hair care system. Shampoos, hair remedies, hot combs, all to make the hair look long and beautiful.
Sounds like she's really something.
Yeah, and she did it all on her own.
What's a hot comb?
You use it to straighten your hair. It's a little metal comb and you put it on the stove to get it hot, but not so hot that it burns your hair. Then you just comb it through carefully until your hair is straight.
That's kind of dangerous. Like a cattle brand.
What do you know about a cattle brand?
My grandpa had cows. I seen a cattle brand. Handled one too.
Well, it's easy, Farmer John.
I like that. So Evan Parsons wants to be a millionaire.
Not just. I want to do something great. And nothing here for me except doing Michael's hair. And lawn.
That's fair. So you're going up north to be a Yankee-colored businesswoman.
Or something.
Make a lot of folks down here mad, that's for sure.
Maybe that's not so bad to me. Maybe they are me now.
Here, here. No, I really think that's a fine idea. I'd be lucky to see what you become.
What about you, Mr. Castle in the Mountains? What's your aspiration?
You should have liked big words, though.
Well, I like to read a lot.
I don't really got an aspiration. I guess I'll go to the army.
The army? What for?
All the men in my family go to the army. My papa went, my brothers went, and now papa says I should go. Probably will in a year after I finish school.
Oh. Aren't you scared?
For what?
Well, the Great War.
The United States probably ain't gonna get involved. I'll be alright. Even if the US does get involved, I'll come back in one piece.
What was that boy over there coming in? But they're not the same.
I don't know about that.
Why?
I didn't say I was definitely going, just that I probably will.
But why? You could go to college. You don't got
I ain't the college type.
You're kidding me, right?
You're every bit the college type. Your dad's got money, you're blonde, T.Y.
I ain't it. I ain't smart at all. The military's a good, respectable career, Papa says.
What do you mean you ain't smart?
I don't know.
You mean to tell me I got mixed up with an idiot? How can you say you're not smart?
Well, I ain't dumb. I ain't as smart as my brothers, I guess. I hate going to school too, but Papa says ain't no son dropping out of high school.
I wish I could go to high school.
Why can't you?
Well, in colored school, ain't no colored school here past 8th grade. I don't finish that a few years back. So every now and then I go and get myself some books to read. And I ain't the same, but I just want to know everything. I'm saving up myself to buy some fancy encyclopedia, you know? So far I have volume M, but it's a few years outdated. Mom else said she's going to help me save up. It's almost good.
Encyclopedias, huh?
Well, the bull said would. You sort of like going to school, I bet.
If you want, I can bring you some of my school books.
You reckon?
Sure. Maybe you can help me study.
I'd be delighted.
Ethel hugs so excited. T.Y. is surprised, but his arms slowly wrap around her, and he chuckles. She pulls away from him and shines.
If I knew it was going to make you come around, I'd have brought you the books sooner. You fascinate me, Ethel.
Even if it's fascinating, I'll be doing.
T.Y.'s fingers brush under her chin. He turns her face to his, leans in, and kisses her softly. They kiss for a moment, and then she turns her head away.
Don't.
Come on, Ethel. I like you.
We can't. We shouldn't be.
What does it matter?
I should go home. This wasn't a mistake.
Ethel.
Ethel starts to get up, but he grasps her arm. They look at each other, and then they're kissing again. Scene 9. At the gate outside of Montedale's yard, Harold and Johnny walk up to the gate. Johnny is prideful and his stride is cautious behind Harold.
Here we are. I believe this is where Adele lives.
Yeah.
Yes, good. You should have your mother. Right? Still, you should have your mother stop by my office. That may be a concern of safety moving forward.
There may be. But that must be worried.
Johnny, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation you're in.
I don't.
Now, I was able to convince the judge to have you released, but not everyone will see that as a good thing. You understand? There may still be an element of danger, you see. It's in your best interest, the interest of your family, if you take certain precautions, Johnny.
I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm not going to look my head down.
Being full of foolish pride helps no one. Now, I told the judge that you are your mother's only son and the man of her household. Isn't that correct, my boy?
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to be stark, but son, you can't take care of your mother if they hang you by your neck. Now, I can protect within the confines of the law, but I can only do so much to prevent that. You have to help me to protect you and your family.
Amadale sees the men's room for screen door in her house. She opens the door and rushes over to them, embracing Johnny.
Lord, Johnny, I thought for sure they was going to strain you up.
I'm fine, Miss Stella.
Amadale shakes Harold's hand vigorously.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Harold.
I'm only glad I could be of any help, Della.
That boy's mama can't take no more loss. You don't know what good you done.
Well, we're not out of the woods just yet, I'm afraid. Della, I think it would be in young Johnny's interest if his family came to stay with you for a little while.
It's all right, Miss Stella. We don't need no place to stay. We're going to stay right where we are.
Johnny, my boy, if you stay at home, they may come for you there. They won't know to look for you here.
I ain't bringing my troubles, Miss Stella. You understand me?
Johnny, now you watch your tongue. This man done saved you.
He shouldn't have had to. I didn't do anything wrong. I got every right to stand up, but something's going to sit right with me, Miss Stella. This thing going to shut me up. Not no jailhouse, not no judge, and sure as hell not no claim.
Let's not go throwing around accusations, Johnny.
You're right, mister. You wouldn't want to accuse those fine gentlemen of threatening to string me up to a tree to speak my mind.
I understand that you're upset. Take a moment to cool yourself off. Then go and get your mother and bring her here.
I don't need your help.
Oh, Johnny.
Incidentally, I'm not doing this for you. Della, I'll do what I can. Don't you worry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harold.
Take care.
You ought to be glad to be alive.
You want to grovel on his feet to the pimp he walks on and thank white Jesus for sending me a savior?
Now, you ain't gonna talk to me that way.
You did what you thought was best, but I don't want to owe nothing to the likes of him.
The likes of him? You sure is stupid to be so smart. You don't owe that man nothing. But you ain't starting no kind of revolution without the likes of him on your side.
Why? My revolution ain't got nothing to do with white men. And I sure as hell ain't gonna kiss one's ass to save me from his own brothers.
You weird. Watch your mouth in front of me, boy. Now I ain't asking you to stand in that white man's presence. But he fights the good fight. He been fighting a good fight since before you were born. And there ain't many folks like him down here. And he wants to help you. So let her help you.
Let us take him from the Ku Klux Klan, but he's defending right to our faces, Miss Mama Dell.
White folks never want to believe the bad in other folks, in other white folks. Not all the way.
He's asking me to bring a white to door, Miss Della. That's crazy.
Mine or yours, honey?
If mine or yours, I choose mine. Put you in danger, Eddie in danger, what would that make me? Will you take care of my mama?
I'm gonna take care of both of you. Now you come on inside and you relax yourself. It ain't healthy letting all that way down on you all day.
Mama Dell wraps her arms around Johnny and leads him to the house.
You think it would have killed me?
She stops for a moment to look at him, sadness in her eyes. She touches his face, gently smiles at him, and leads him inside. Lights up on Mama Dell's house. Mama Dell, Johnny, and Harold stand in the yard. Johnny is carrying his suitcase in his night.
Do you have to go right now?
The sooner we get him out of town, the better.
Surely we can wait till tomorrow.
No, Della, I don't think we can.
It's okay, Miss Della. I'll be fine.
I worked it out with the National Religious Training School for the Colored Race, and they've agreed to take young Johnny immediately. He'll be much safer in Durham.
I was gonna go anyway, Miss Della.
Just stay one more night. What's going on? Why is he leaving? Where have you been, ever? Johnny, why are you leaving?
Miss Della, you're gonna help. Let's go to supermarket.
Johnny and Harold start to leave. Mama Dell tries to move up towards the house, up pulls away and rushes to Johnny.
Johnny, don't go.
I ain't got no choice, Ray.
Johnny, we have to go.
I'll be alone.
I've gone above and beyond for you.
I know, sir.
Say your goodbyes.
I gotta go.
I don't understand.
Where you been?
That don't matter.
Don't you know we at war, girl? Don't you know what they do to us out there? It's already dark out, Eddie.
It ain't like I'm a child, Johnny Amos.
I ain't talking about you being a child. I'm talking about you being colored. That's the only state out there for you to be running around here like a fool, like your skin ain't brown. Like there are people waiting for any opportunity to hurt you, to wreck you, or worse, just because you're a nigger. We went home, figured it was enough time for things to cool off since I got pinched. Like they were waiting on us, Eddie.
Johnny.
Burned my house straight to the ground.
No.
I ain't want to run away, but Mr. Harold says for the best to get out of town for a while. I was gonna go to seminary anyway.
Who am I gonna talk to?
Who tells me you got that covered?
How long?
I'll study and I'll come back. I was done gonna take my mom and my little sister and separate in the morning. But they would be on. This was the fight of the day.
Ethel hugs him, her arms thrown around his shoulders, and doesn't hug her back.
Please don't go. Stay one more night. Please don't go, Johnny.
See you, Rhonda.
Johnny steps back and pulls out her arms and takes a look at her before leaving. Ethel watches him leave. Scene 12, outside of Mama Dell's house. Ethel sits on the wooden steps leading from the front door. She is alone and quietly reading a book. T.Y. enters, standing just outside of the gate. Ethel looks up just as he approaches. For a moment, all she sees is a white man at the gate and she's scared. She stands up nervously as if to go into the house, but then she realizes it's T.Y.
What are you doing here?
I thought I'd come find you. If I didn't know any better, I could go and have you to see me.
You shouldn't be here, T.Y.
What else was I supposed to do? You didn't show up at the creek like you said you was gonna, so I thought I'd come
How
find
did
you.
you find out where I live?
You say that like you don't want me here.
I hate that. I hate safe is all.
Is your granny home? You want me to leave, or?
No.
David breaks. It's only for a moment, savored before Ethel pulls away, nervously, looking fearfully into the distance.
Mama Jill told me not to leave the yard. She's all taking Johnny Amos's family out of town. We'll be safe.
What do you mean safe?
They burned their house down.
Who did? The Klan?
All I know is Johnny spoke up and somebody didn't like it. Your dad took him up to the Durham to put him in the seminary school up there.
I didn't know.
They questioned you.
Don't be like that. It ain't like my papa tells me all about his work. I knew he was working the Cannon Bills case, but you can't tell me nothing about people burning down houses.
Even if he did, it would just be another sad story to you, wouldn't it? The plight of the Negro, which you good white folks care so much about.
That's a way to talk to me. I come all the way down here just to spend time with you, and here you're talking about good whites? I don't see us that way, Ethel. Colored and white.
Well, we are. You're white and I'm colored, T.Y. And your good intentions ain't gonna change that. Not to that world out there. And I'm sorry you had to come all the way to the bottom just to see little old me. Must have been quite the trip for you, lowering yourself, coming down here where the unwashed and uneducated Negroes live. So I won't take up any more of your time. You best get home to your mom now.
Now, wait a minute. I don't know what I said, but whatever it is, I'm sorry. I just want to see you, Ethel. Can't you see I love you?
If I say I love you too, does that make this real, T.Y.?
It's as real as we want it to be.
How can that be true? You and I both know this can't be.
Maybe not down here. I'll go anywhere for me to be in with you.
All right, let's hear it one more time. All right, no time, and our business. It's time for another room to deliberate. I would love for our playwrights to come to the stage. Crystal Joseph, Rory Sheriff, Eric, Garbo, and Raven Monroe. have 4 very different stories told here today, all told in great ways. So I'm very proud of our playwrights here today. This thing has got glare all in my face. Has any questions to get started? Anyone? Have any questions? I have one for maybe each of you or whoever wants to answer. What was the catalyst? What made you say, this story has to be told? I've got to tell this story. I want this story to be known by people everywhere. Why that particular story and what sparked it? What made it relevant for you?
All right. Anybody? For Greenwood, celebrates the 150th anniversary of this tragedy. Very few have heard of because it's been kind of hidden and swept under the rug. And I just felt that story was told. 300 plus people died after the time. Fairly prosperous district of 10,000 people, not just the 400 who died, or 300 who died that night, but the rest who couldn't camps until, for weeks until they were, then they could open the fountain, their way. But with that said, the whole district was torn down, so whatever they had accomplished during that period was gone. The land was gone, their homes were gone, furniture, their homes were ravaged. I mean, it was just something that should never have happened. But since it did happen, we have to know that. And we also have to look at restitution and reparations for those who lost generational wealth behind it. So that was my inspiration.
My inspiration for speakeasy, when I was 9 years old, I grew up in a speakeasy. So part of the story is really real. My mom visited our house now that we grew up in. So she did start speaking. So it's kind of cool seeing all these characters in the neighborhood. And, as I studied all these Wilson's pieces, coming from the Philadelphia area, I know those kind of characters from the 70s and 60s, so it gives me an opportunity to give voice to men and women that usually don't see voice to just the story. I thought they were cool. Everybody was heroes in the 70s, the music, the clothes, as you can tell. So I love everything about the series. So this is my way of the cats that I grew up with.
Can't Tell a Love Story is about 3 women that I know. And another woman came to me and she said, could you write their stories? So I sat with each of them and they told me their stories. And from there, we developed the script. Now, originally the script was dialogue. Then I saw Hamilton, and I fell in love. And so that's why we changed it to a musical. But it's all about, the message I'm trying to get out there is that it's hard. It really is hard. But with faith, family, friends, and all of that is just love, we can make it through almost anything. We really
can. So Love and Justice and Other Fairy Tales was my thesis play at NYU. It kind of came to me because I was curious about my own family history. And so fictionalizing how it's not based on anything that actually happened. And then the other side of it is I like writing stories that have Black female protagonists. So I really wanted to tell this story about this girl living in this circumstance that was challenging for her. And also, I feel like this era of America is not really explored, well, at least from like the Black point of view. This is around World War I, and you don't see too many stories about like what it was like just being a normal Black person living in America in World War I. So I became fascinated with that, and just like love triangle between her and Johnny and TUI, and yeah, so that's pretty much how it is.
Kings Without a Queen was a selfish endeavor at first. I was trying to settle some old demons, if you will, as it relates to many young African American males that I grew up with, and Latino males as well. So that was the first part. And also, like all of the other playwrights, I love August Wilson. And in high school, my English teacher had us read Fences. So this was kind of my ode to Fences, if you will. Certainly not Fences-esque, but you know, trying to emulate phrase.
Anyone? Right here.
Everyone, first of all, I enjoyed everything I saw up there, so congratulations to all of you on well, I noticed a theme there were two that I saw in there was one was a Black man being involved and its effect on their lives, and the other one was the reaction to the strive for equality and liberation among Black people being struck down with violent aggression over the system or members of the society who benefit from the system. So I'm trying to formulate a question just if anyone want to speak to how that's affected their lives or the way that speaks through your art.
If I may respond?
Go ahead.
I'm going to respond from the character's perspective. And certainly, David, being a corrections officer, he's in a bit of a conundrum in that he is a part of the system that doesn't necessarily treat people fairly when it comes to correctional facilities, to say the least. So that was that's one aspect. But then the other part is being held accountable for your actions. And, you know, I think sometimes, you know, there's just a fine line, you know, that there is such thing as justice, opportunity, and reward for your actions. So that's kind of Montaigne's character, you know, someone who, you know, his father is a corrections officer, he knows his mother. He didn't come from a single family home without much, but yet he made these choices. And I read Donald Williams a long time ago, and he was someone who also came from a middle class background. If you know anything about Donald Williams, he sure didn't write middle class work.
Yeah, I'll say for mine, especially the scene that opens this version of it, the whole play doesn't open this scene, but where Johnny is speaking, he's at a rally, and then he's arrested. I was very much inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. That like type of thing was it was modern. It was purposefully supposed to be anachronous to the time, because I was trying to juxtapose like the way that people are still dealing with these things with the struggle that our people were going through back then as well. So like nothing is really, like things have changed, but nothing has really changed. So
Well, I said, I just think, for me, it's historical, so it was just something that, you know, that happened. There's also a story within, you know, the story, so the story is also a love story. So, and anybody can do anything. Well, human emotion, anybody can do anything, so there, there is that, but yeah, it was, for me, it's just, retelling something.
Not to get deep, but can you really write a story about the Black experience without the law being involved? At all. So, I mean, telling our stories does involve the law. The law, unfortunately, has been a part of the systematic oppression of Black people. So we cannot tell a real story of our experiences without the law being involved. And that's why you see a thing. And it's not on purpose either. It's not done on purpose, but it's a reality.
I agree with that, I so agree with what you said. And it just reminds me of, like, I don't want to say tired remorse, but like a guilt that some, I don't want to get too much, but I can only speak to myself. The feeling of like a lot of athletes, not what I was supposed to do. When athletes make it, how they want to bring brothers from the neighborhood with them, and it's a sense of, like, I made it, so I feel guilty about that. I think that's what I feel like.
Anyone else?
I wanted to say that all y'all did an awesome job with this thing, and I can relate to everything that I've seen today, especially with cancer. I'm a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in 2016. Congratulations. I was really good.
I have a question regarding, first of all of you did an amazing job. I cannot wait to see who I'm going to see in September, because I'm done, whoever it is. But I was interested in knowing, the cancer, a love story, is almost like an oxymoron, but that title, so what made you decide to title it Cancer, a love story?
I had somebody read it, and she said to me, "This is really a love story." And I was like, "Oh, that's nice." That's why I came up with Cancer, a love story. Because the full play, they talk about their children, they talk about their husbands, they talk about their family life growing up. So it's all about love. So that's why we call it Cancer, a love story.
I noticed everybody mentioned that they had seen a lot of works by August Wilson, and one of the things that he does is he sets up his antagonist and protagonist very clearly. I was wondering if you all felt that. Do you have that with your pieces, and who was your antagonist and protagonist?
Well, yeah, he does that brilliantly too. It's kind of tough setting that up in 20 minutes and being effective. Like an August Wilson piece, but we're told to present the best of what we got to offer in this contest. I'm sure I can probably speak for everyone. We do have that clear with our complete pieces. You see that, and with me, it's set up very early. I like to think that I am a student of August Wilson pieces.
With Greenway was displayed on stage, serves the antagonist. Red Man, you can see is protagonist, but serves an antagonist in a kind of Shakespearean tragic kind of way. But yeah, it's like you said, it's kind of hard to really establish that.
I wanted to say I thought you all did an extraordinary job, and I thoroughly enjoyed every single one of your plays, all for various reasons. But the one thing that I noticed that also appeared to be a central theme throughout all of your plays was portrayal of Black women. And I really appreciated how in each of your plays, just the manner in which
Black woman was personified was really beautiful. I saw strength, I saw resilience, even with Montavious and the commentary between he and his father in regards to the mother. And Montavious saying, you know, well, you did this to my mom and therefore she left. You know, there's strength in that. And so in each of your stories, I just really appreciated that, just the representation of Black women being strong, resilient. I thought that was truly beautiful, and thank you for that.
I want to say thank you because I certainly, in my mind, I wanted David's ex-wife to be the protagonist. And David is my attempt to write an anti-hero. And I think Troy Fences is the prototype for an anti-hero. Of course, the also. So thank you for saying.
I appreciate you mentioning that as well. When I first wrote Speakeasy, the female was really, really weak, unique, and if you read the script, you can tell that a man wrote it. So I had to do some really, really good research, and starting with the women in my family, questioning them, and what I do on like social media, I would ask something crazy just to get a feedback or just to get a rise out of Black women and see if I can get some feedback, see how they would react to this. They're not knowing that I'm doing research and writing, but seeing how I would get a reaction. I was okay, could he not like that? So I'm right there. I'm right there. So yeah, I wanted. I just ripped up the script. I think I was like 40 pages in it, and I ripped up and I started it over. And I wanted my lead to be strong, Black, and change that process of how she was thinking, how she was raised to be to you know, to cater to a man and to be cooking. So there's a lot of motif in there about her. This never happened. I never did this. I never experienced it. But she's breaking away from what she was taught.
Even though we only got to see 20 minutes of each piece, I felt like all 5 were excellent pieces. And of course, today we know that only one of them will develop fully here. What do you all plan to do with the piece of work itself and with your work individually as an artist if you don't win this particular
What? We will develop it fully. If we don't, then we'll go somewhere else and develop it fully, because it's a message that we want to get out. I think Playwrights will always make it work.
You just keep going.
Yep.
This is a type of career, like this is from my perspective. This is a type of career where it is just about keep going. You can't take something and say, well, I didn't get that, so never again. So for my play, I intend to do more readings, I intend to workshop it, I intend to, at some point, get full production of. See how that process keeps rolling in.
Yeah, that's basically the game. It's good. Not having to sit on the show. So, you know, you just want to keep your eyes on this as possible. So it's one workshop after another, meeting after another. You know, present it. There is still some of the other. Once this goes out, then it has to be followed. So, yeah, that's basically what it is.
I have a theater company in Charlotte. So, 9 stations. I produce so much original work. I was continuing to produce more.
This is my first attempt at doing this professionally, so I certainly want to put it on stage soon.
Anyone else?
I have a quick question, I want to kind of piggyback on what you said earlier. But to me, most playwrights have made this like writing, rewriting, and rewriting. You just talked about you wrote like 40 pages in, tore it up, started over. You know, so I wonder like, how many times have you rewritten this, and if you happen to get this in September, how much are you gonna tweak it before September comes? And do you ever stop? Do you ever stop? So I just want to know how much this has changed when you started.
For me, I'm sorry, but for me, I started this when I was in my MFA program at NYU. And when you're in a program like that, you're constantly getting feedback. You're constantly reminded. This has to be, I don't know, maybe the 20th version of it. And I still intend to do at least a couple more drafts of it, just to get it to its best place. But I know playwrights who, they never stop tweaking their play. They have to have full productions of it, and they're still like, change that.
I wrote this in 2013, so when I was looking at it for this contest, I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. So there was a lot of anxiety then. And like you said, when you'll sit there the 2 days before and see something and go, no, that's not working. You're gonna change it to this. So you'll always be there.
So hard. Look at your own work and you're like, I can't.
This is probably, I stopped counting after my 10th rewrite of this particular piece. I finished this, we started workshop in October 2019, so I think it was summer 2019 workshop. Even now on stage, I have notes that I'm going to rewrite and change some things around for this one.
That first time hearing it out loud, does it spark a lot of rewrites? Do you actually hear it?
Yes, for me in particular, because it brings joy to hear the words that you hear in your mind, hear someone else say it, and it brings some nuance to it. So that's amazing to me. You know, I love John Coltrane, and in researching John Coltrane, all he did was shed practice. And he finds beauty in that shed, beauty in that practice. And I try to do that. St. John Coltrane.
Right.
Piggyback on the talk about process. How much fun was it in a mobile playwright?
A week and a half?
Well, I did a short process to get it ready for this contest, right? Like, when we did. Well, I know, from my understanding, what was it like, what was it like having this such a condensed schedule to get something ready for stage? I know some of you guys usually have a much longer pre-production period.
You mean the process?
Yeah, the process.
Setting up the reading, and getting the reading together, getting the actors and all that. That's part of it.
Getting ready for performances.
I understand. It was because, you know, there's, you know, you're so familiar with your work that you don't know what to leave out. And you end up telling the story of the story. So with me, I wanted to, there were certain elements of the work that I wanted to present. It's conflict, emotion, with the two conflict and emotion. There's also some humor. I couldn't fit all of that in. So I had to say, okay, well, where am I going to go with this? And that was to tell some of the stories and add those elements to fit the antagonist. Also show that the emotional side of the story. And then I just cut it in.
For me, the toughest part was choosing 20 minutes of what I wanted to do on the script. there's several monologues in there, so this is my first time. I was challenging myself. I was liking all this in the play. Just one set, unmovable set. And there's throughout the entire story, there's like a lot of, like you said, a lot of conflict and comedy, but I couldn't take the conflict and comedy and put it over here and put it over here to make it make sense for an audience. So I had to choose a section of the script that explains most of the storyline, and that was coming in Act 2, the beginning of Act 2, of what happened, and hopefully
My background is I work with teens, like teen in my church, so I had to learn how to write 10 and 20-minute things that gets the message out right away. So that's my background. So even when I write, my scenes tend to be almost like book stories. So the hardest part, which turned out to be the easiest part, was getting the cast. Other than that, that's just
Kathy was my name. I love actors so much. I actually, so that actress who played Mama Dell, we literally got her yesterday, and you guys see how fabulous she was. You know, but we lost so many actors that like I was so stressed out about it. Like, but I lucked out with the cast I ended up with, and I'm so happy with what happened.
This is important part of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the process was tiring and consuming, but I enjoyed it, and it allows me to be a playwright. So that's all I'm saying, like, my opportunity to do what you say you're gonna do. So you're gonna be the best full play, well, you're the best. So it was kind of like that. It was a challenging process, but
Is that it? Everybody wants to ask a question, but you think I got the winners up here. You want to know who it is? I want to ask no more questions. I'm talking about a piece of paper. And then we want to know what the deal is. Okay, well, that's it. Let's find out what the deal is. Yeah. All right. Round of applause for everyone. Great work by all. Thank you to the judges for all of their work. Thank you to Vicky and to Matthew's Playhouse for coming together on this and putting something in place for our community. Thank you to everyone involved. And I'm saying all of this right now because after we announce this, we're going to have everybody to come up and have a few words, and then we're going to all get out of here and go enjoy our weekend. So I'm trying to get all the things in and make sure that anyone who wants to make a donation, please, like they said, there are envelopes here, or you can go to the website and make a donation to Matthew's Playhouse. And thank you to them. Thank you for all that they've done for keeping us safe, and county and everyone for your hard work and your participation, and to our judges. And having said all of that, the main thing that came back to me is like, look, this was a hard decision because they all are winners. This was a super hard show, and it is Greenwood by Coolidge County.
Thank you. Thanks to the Matthew's Playhouse. Thanks to Vicky and the African American Playwrights Group for coming together and allowing this opportunity, which doesn't come often. And I had mentioned before in one of our meetings that the good thing about this competition is that it gives the audience, it gives the audience a look of what all 5 sitting finalists produced. And you saw all 5 were just great. And you heard them talk, and you know that the passion, talents, and for us to have this opportunity to do it, I just thank you. And also Cassie, Evan, who helped us through this tech, the tech and address, and all getting everything together, and all the communication. Everyone, the staff, come in, everybody's gracious. Just thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Playhouse, and yes, to the whole technical support team here at Matthews, they are second to none, so we totally appreciate them. This play will be fully mounted and put up in September of this year. It will be a part of their season this year, so come back in September, I believe it's 1920. What was it? Around 1920, somewhere in there. So come back, make sure you come back and support him and support them for doing this for us. All right, Jude, is there anything else?
Just that any donation money goes directly to funding productions. That's what it's for, not
That's awesome also.
I don't even know how I have to thank you. They're just like talented, super committed, and could not have done this without them. And I just want to thank them by name. Sir, Roger Gar, Fred Manning, Idris T. Langford, Lucille, and my man, Devon Robinson, young man. That's really, they all are so talented at young people. Thank you for that.
All right, that is it. Thank you all for coming out. Thank
Keep going. Keep going. Y'all did a great job.